Yo, what's good, guys? We are back. We are here to talk today about the update with the Bloodline on SmackDown. Man, what a crazy sequence. There was a bunch of different segments to do with the Bloodline. No appearance from Roman Reigns, but we had Paul Heyman, we had Jimmy, and we had Solo, and someone else who you guys may or may not have already seen. If not, I'll fill you in briefly. Basically, we start off SmackDown. The first segment that we get from the Bloodline, we see Solo, we see Paul Heyman, and we see Jimmy arrive, and they go to what would usually be the Bloodline's, private room, their own private locker room there, and it's actually now Cody Rhodes's locker room, and Kevin Owens enters and basically says, "Yeah, you guys aren't welcome here." And then Paul Heyman just pretty much told them that, this is what happens when there's consequences to winning and losing, and we need to obviously win back the gold if we want to have the luxury and perks that we used to. So then we get from there to another segment now, and Paul Heyman comes out, and he's on the microphone alongside Jimmy, alongside Solo. They're both standing on either side of him. And pretty much Paul Heyman says, yeah, we don't have any excuses. The Tribal Chief has no excuses for what happened at WrestleMania 40. Everyone, we're all held accountable. And, he pretty much says that he's going to rise from the ashes again. So that this is what Paul Heyman said, basically just saying there's no excuses. Cody Rhodes won fair and square, and he is the undisputed WWE champion. So from there, we get Solo kind of intimidating Paul Heyman and pretty much grabs a microphone from him and says, there is a consequence to winning and losing, and it matters. And there is a consequence for that, and things need to change. And then he looks as if he might be going to attack Paul Heyman. And you can tell with Paul Heyman's expression, he is surprised by all of this. For here to the remainder of the night in the other segments, he is surprised by all of this. He has no clue, no indication. Basically, Solo goes up to Jimmy, hugs him, confronts him first. It looks like he's going to attack him, but then he hugs him, says he loves him, turns his back out on him, and then someone attacks him. That someone turns out to be Tama Tonga, who has been rumored to be coming in to the WWE for a long time. It was always speculated and always suggested that he would be perfect for the Bloodline. And by the looks of it, he has joined the Bloodline. Now, what that means, I got no idea, because this just, from here, it takes another swerve again, and they're attacking Jimmy. And as this is happening, Paul Heyman reaches for the phone, the Bloodline phone, which he would usually call Roman Reigns from. And he says, call Roman Reigns. Before he could even finish, Solo grabs the phone from him and smashes the phone. He smashes the phone. It's broken. It's on the ground. It's done. And they continue their assault on Jimmy. The spikes are coming in from everywhere. They bring out a chair. Everything. So pretty much Jimmy's done. And pretty much from there, Solo intimidates Paul Heyman to follow along with them. He doesn't leave Paul Heyman and say this is it. It's a split. He tells Paul Heyman to follow him. From there, we go to another segment where Jimmy, they report that Jimmy is seriously injured. He's obviously with one of the medics. Paul Heyman walks out from that medical room completely surprised. Then we get Tama Tonga, who intimidates Paul Heyman once again, and he is completely shocked by all of this. Still, he looks very afraid, and then Solo comes in, and I think it was Tama Tonga, if I recall. He's the one that says, as requested by the tribal chief, and then that's when you see Solo come into frame. Now you're caught up. If you didn't know, now you're caught up. Okay. If you go watch the segments for yourself. From here, I'm going to talk about what I think this all means. To me, that Paul Heyman is pretty much alluding to Roman taking full accountability, which is a very, a heel move to do would be to say, a heel move to do would be to say he got cheated and everyone showed up. John Cena showed up. No, they've decided to take accountability and say that Cody Rhodes won it fair and square. And now we get the swerve of Solo, and Paul Heyman doesn't know, which would suggest that Roman doesn't know, which would suggest that obviously attacking Jimmy is no longer, has been kicked out of whatever this bloodline is. So if Roman and Paul Heyman are left in the dark and Jimmy got turned on, that means the only people that know for sure that are involved in this is Solo and Tama. And when Tama says this was per request of the tribal chief, and then Solo comes into frame, I interpret that as this might have been Solo's call, or I think it could be The Rock. I think The Rock might have made this call, because if you recall on Monday Night Raw, The Rock had said, you may have beaten Roman Reigns, but you haven't beaten me. He wanted to let Cody Rhodes know who beat him on night one of WrestleMania. So if we're going by the wins and losses theme, Jimmy lost, and it looks like Jimmy lost to Jay, and it looks like Solo's blaming Roman Reigns' loss to Jimmy. And I would suggest that he believes maybe The Rock is the rightful tribal chief, or he is. But I'd say it would probably suggest that The Rock is the rightful tribal chief in the eyes of Solo. So I say all this to say, I think Roman Reigns is turning face now. I think Roman Reigns will obviously have no clue about any of this. I think this will develop very, very slowly for a number of reasons, obviously. But I think we get to a place where we don't know all the answers. I think it will drag out for a long time with people speculating, is the tribal chief Roman Reigns? Because Roman Reigns obviously feels like he is. Solo could be alluding to that he is for a while, but it's actually The Rock. That's where we get another surprise. Because this, to me, looks like it's setting up for a number of matches, with War Games being one of them, with two sets of bloodlines going against each other in War Games, and also the WrestleMania 41 match, which it will be The Rock versus Roman Reigns in a main event match at WrestleMania. That to me is happening. Where we go from here, I don't know. But if I was to take my guess from what we have seen, I would say that Roman Reigns gets aligned with Jimmy and Paul Heyman. I don't think Jay's going to be involved, but obviously if Jay was to be involved, he would be on the side of Roman Reigns. And there's a rumor that there is more people that have been... I'm not going to name names because until it happens, I don't want to bring other people into it. I'm just going to go with that. Actually, I'll just go with who we know that is in WWE. So I think it will be Roman. I think it'll be Paul Heyman. I think it'll be Jimmy. And I think it could possibly be Jay, but he's doing so well as a solo competitor, like as a solo in-ring performer. I don't think he really needs to. And then on the other side, of the bloodline. I believe it'll be The Rock, it'll be Solo Sikoa, and Tama Tonga. And I think that's how this is going to eventually break out into. And we are going to feast on another year of a great bloodline story. One of the greatest stories. No, for me personally, it's the greatest story ever told in the WWE. It is up there. It has been remarkable from the start. And we're going into, well, I would say a fifth year of this story. We're going into the fifth year of this story. It's remarkable what they have done. But I just couldn't believe it. What introduction for Tama Tonga. What an introduction into Solo stepping up. Who would have thought it would be like this? And now we go in week by week wondering who is the tribal chief. Solo's calling shots. The Rock is not around. Roman will probably not be around too. Paul Heyman will still be speaking on behalf of Roman Reigns unless Solo looks to be intimidating him to basically acknowledge him as a tribal chief. And we are set for, I do not know. There's so many different ways this can turn from here, but it is amazing. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of what happened on SmackDown overall tonight. What you think of where this bloodline story is going next. But yeah, that is what my first impressions, my first reaction off of all of this. And yeah, so many crazy things, so many amazing things to come out of this. I'm just happy because the bloodline story continues. And to me, it's all systems go on Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 41. But on that note, like I said, let me know what you guys think down below. Comment whatever it is to do with this storyline, with WWE, with SmackDown, with Raw, anything. I've been enjoying doing these. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.